What's up, you guys? This is Adam Gillespie with Ranted and Sweaty Calves coming at you with yet another video. And in this one, I'm just going to cover a couple of the pieces of art that I've been working on in regards to my comics. There's character sketches mostly. I might upload some looks at some pages that I've done. This is digital work now. This is the first digital sketch that I did. I based it off of an actual drawing I did that was on paper, which is how I'm pretty much doing everything digitally. I'm first drawing it out on paper so I know what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to place it into the system so that I can rework it digitally. But this is a character named Invincigal, Zoe Inquiry. Very interesting trying to figure out the design. I'm not sure if this is the one that'll stick, but it is the current runner of the main suit design for her. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you can see some of the details and some of the designs, shall we? So as you can see, she's got some different kind of hair. She's got black and blonde at the same time. No, she does not dye her black hair blonde, and no, she does not dye her blonde hair black. She has both black and blonde hair simultaneously. It's one of those little tiny hair details that I decided to put into her character just to make her a little bit more interesting to look at in comparison to other people who will have a singular hair color. Whether that be, anything within the color spectrum. Okay, you've got the some slight color variation in this area right here. Let me see if you can see the mouse right here. So you get some shine from a light source coming from right around the upper right hand area. This is left hand if you're facing it, but right hand for her because that's her right arm. You get some shading around this area. Now it's not nearly as dark as I think I should have made it, the shading, which is what I'm correcting in some of the newer digital artworks that I'm doing. But you get some decent shading all around this area. I did do 2 layers of skin coating, so that's why it kind of looks like it's a little bit really like uber mixed together, because there are 2 different skin tones on each layer of the skin shading. But you see all these different little tiny details in here. You got these details right around here on the belt area. You got this kind of really shiny looking fabric that is going on with the overall suit here. Now, one thing I did was I actually made her suit a little bit more of like a yellow, like a very pale yellow, because I wanted to show off the shine of the white. That may not be the case with everything going forward in regards to the white shine of the characters' outfits and looks. But I mean, you got some little details here and there, like these little lines going all up and down this area. The shading on the cloth and the cape is supposed to look like it's more of a cloth shading, not like a static hard shading like you'd see on skin tones or clothing like boots. And you got the boots, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's not the prettiest, it's not the best, but it isn't necessarily horrible. If we go over to Invincilad, this is actually the main OC of the stories. This is the main guy. This is Jared Ivan. This is this is the guy who's the first comic is based off of. And I really like the pose. I do think, however, I didn't necessarily live up to my personal expectations in regards to the digital creation of this product and the digital creation of this actual drawing. I think I rushed it a little bit. You can see some feathering, as I like to call it, some rough sketch work around the cape area. Not necessarily the best. Really, I could have taken more time on that, but I did want to rush through because I was pretty much done with the whole process. But and I will say this: the skin tone isn't necessarily the skin tone that I was going for. I wanted it to be a little more pink, like a little more reddish, kind of around the shading areas, but I didn't get it the way that I fully wanted it to look. But that's kind of a minor nitpick. But you got some of that same shading detail here, where you got this bright spot, and then it kind of has this lighter charcoal color mixing into the black. I really like the way that I did the arm, though. If you take a look at this right here, you get this really bright outer area right along the outer edge where the tricep and the outer forearm is. I really like that look, and then it mixes into that deep hue of that darker blue, and then it goes into the basic blue that you would see on that's actually the base color of the suit, and it just looks really good like that. And it's same over here with that. At least to me, it looks really good, seeing that bright bright blue kind of right on the outside, and just kind of flows into that darker hue and then flows into the base color, and then you still get some of that shine that you would see from the kind of shiny suit that superheroes would typically wear. The eye, not nearly as much as I wanted it to look like. I wanted to kind of appear as if it was glowing, and from a distance, like if you zoom out, it's not necessarily appearing like that. It does look like it kind of mixes together a little better, but I'll have to figure out better ways of taking care of that. But let's move on. This is actually the first sketch I did where I kind of did comic book style inking, where I have these deep blacks, right? You have these deep black shading areas right here. You get this kind of a cross hatching going on all along this entire suit. You get to see some muscle definition, some shine. You get that same kind of cloak kind of texture fabric shading for this design. You get some basic shading for the hands. I really, really, really do like the way this turned out, especially around the legs. If you look at the legs, you get some pretty... I like the shading around this area particularly. Just kind of this deep black shade over here. And then you get this kind of fading into this base color blue, and then you get these little bright, shiny parts of the suit. I really do like the way that turned out. I thought it was pretty decently done, if I do say so myself. I'm not to brag. I am still learning how to do everything on the digital platform, so not exactly I'm not exactly the best, but you get some of these basic shading principles of the boot again. It's a little hard to tell with the white in the background, but you got this charcoal mixed in with the black, and you get some of that cross hatching again, and you get some of that blue along this area too, just to kind of show that it doesn't just go straight into a deep black throughout the entire left portion of the leg. You get some basic shading in between the color variations of the suit here. Now this actually, because of the fact that it's not in direct contact with the light source, it's not going to be the base color blue like over here. This is actually going to be more of this shading of blue, which kind of is a hue shift into the darker blue that goes into the deep black. You got some more detail right over here by the arms. You get some shading kind of coming down. You get the darker blues mixing in with the medium blues, mixing in with the light blue. I kind of really like the way that the light turned out in the eyes. Again, I had never done this on digital before, but you're looking at it from a little bit of a distance, it kind of looks like he's about to charge up a laser beam coming out of his face. And then you kind of get this light source coming off of the face, kind of coming down onto the chest area here, going up onto the hair. Again, not perfect, but for considering the fact that this was the first time I'd actually attempted to draw this type of shading, like this type of lighting, this type of this and that, I think it's pretty decent for the first time doing something that glows, you know. If we move over, we've got Esther. She's a very interesting character. Esther is a fourth dimensional being embodying a person's like a physical form, and she's basically just got this like incredible strength, and she's a brilliant tactician. I wanted to give her more of an athletic kind of like Olympian woman body, like a bodybuilder body for a female character, and I think I pulled it off decently. The legs especially, because if you look at the legs, you got all this muscle detail in here. Now, I might not do the cross hatching for the skin shading going forward, because I'm not sure how well that makes it look. I think it makes it look a little bit too rough for skin. But you guys let me know in the comments below what you think about that. Now, I didn't do much shading on the belt because of the fact that it's got all this cross hatching on it, so I didn't necessarily do a massive amount of shading. There's shading on the orange bits. You can see some shading up here. There's a darker hue of orange on the, I forget what it's called, tiara, I guess, the headband. There's a darker shade of orange here and a lighter shade of orange, so you kind of get that light source coming down. Now her hair is gray and white, so it's not just shading that's going on here. Her hair actually is like gray at the ends, and it kind of grows out in two separate colors, kind of like Zoe, but not entirely. You get some decent looking muscle definition here on the arm. You get some color shading. You get nice ab definition down here in the abdominal region. And she's got some decently broad shoulders, but not too broad to make her look like a dude, but not too skinny to make her look like she couldn't you know, hold her own in a fight. She's got this pretty cool looking weapon, if I do say so myself. She's kind of just got like a He-Man but female version type of look to her. That's what I was going for with this. I kind of wanted to make her just look like a warrior who would be in this ancient time. And I think I decently pulled it off. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section below. This is the first time I did a digital drawing of Esther. So, and here's Blur. Blur is the speedster of my universe. Her name is I believe I named her Rosa Esperanza Villa, and she's basically she's the like a first generation Cuban immigrant, right? So like her mother was Cuban. She comes into the, you know what? She's Cuban. Has this really kind of nice like waterfall curl blonde hair. Now, I realized as I finished this project and I saved it as a JPEG instead of the actual art program format that I use, that I didn't properly mix the colors of the face. So you get this kind of blotchy looking shading, but it's not necessarily the worst thing. I do like the way that the light kind of bounces off the upper and lower lip of this character and to kind of give her some shine in the hair. I didn't feel like I needed to do much in regards to actually detailing the shading in the hair because of the fact that you had so many lines that it kind of, you know, blots it out. And if you look at it from what it would normally look at right about here, you won't even notice the fact that there's, you know, not much detail in that shading area. But I like again, I have to point out the leg. I like the leg muscles when they're shaded in the way that they are with that deep black, and you kind of get this cross hatching going throughout it. The orange was a tricky thing because I've never colored with orange before, not even on paper. Well, actually, no, I can't say I never have. The few times that I have colored with orange, it has never come out looking the way I wanted it to. So this actually doesn't look as horrible as I thought it would, and I think it actually came out pretty decent. I think that might be the color orange that I continue to use in the near future. But you know, you got this basic kind of shading process. It kind of gives a level of three-dimensionality to this otherwise two-dimensional character. And again, not much special about it. I think it's okay. Again, I can't stress this enough. These are my first digital pieces. I'm figuring everything out as I go, and I'm debating whether or not I want to do the deep black ink hue on the continuous comic, or if I want to do a more of the first two images that you guys saw in this video. And here is actually Woodsman. This was a very rushed project, but he's the archer of my universe. Really, there's not much to show here. He's just got this this brown armor, blonde hair, green undersuit. Kind of looks like a modern day Robin Hood. He's even got the red tipped arrows, which I didn't shade in at all. I just made him a base color red for the sake of quickness. And yeah, no, I can't say I really have much, you know, to say about Woodsman. I like the suit design that I came up with for him, but I don't think it's the best. I will say I think that this is probably the best colored in, but I also think that this is probably my favorite one that I've done so far, just because of the fact that it looks like I want Invincible to look in regards to the comic. I think this might be the way I go about doing this, but I don't know. You guys will have to let me know in the comment section below what you think of this art. I know it's not perfect. I know it's not the best. I know it's not a Jorge Jimenez or an Alex Ross. It's far from it, in fact. But I couldn't help but enjoy the process of making these, and I've gotten quicker as I've gone along. So I can't wait to bring you guys my first comic. It's going to be probably almost 100 pages. I'm debating whether or not to do digital or physical copies, but that'll be something that you guys can vote on in the future. Or you guys can make up your own minds on. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below your thoughts, let me know how I can improve on my art, or if you have any resources that can help me get better at drawing on a digital platform, that'd be a huge help. And also criticize it. Just criticize it. You know, tell me what it is I can do better, because I'm always open to suggestions on how I can make my art a little bit better. And yeah, that's probably going to do it for the video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, click that bell notification icon so you'll never miss an upload. And also check me out on Rumble and Patreon as I upload to those on a fairly regular basis. Rumble more so because it's linked to my YouTube. But, you know, you guys can check those out in the description below. I hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of the week.